The liberal media watchdog group Media Matters, supported by billionaire George Soros, is having the tables turned on them. Media Matters founder David Brock, a former conservative, has declared war on Fox News and, among other things, urged advertisers to drop support of this network. So, in a recent Washington Times op-ed, former George H.W. Bush counsel C. Boyden Gray, funny those names, suggested that Media Matters, which enjoys tax-exempt status, has violated that status with its attacks on Fox, and their tax-exempt status should be revoked. Media Matters, however, is not alone. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce and the National Rifle Association also enjoy tax-exempt status, and both have continually crossed the line and supported campaigns against Democratic congressional and presidential candidates. You know, it's funny. No Republicans have ever asked about their tax-exempt status. So, are organizations established for policy information sticking to policy or just knee-deep in politics? Dana, what do you think? I mean, they're all fudging the lines, aren't they?
Well, I actually think that when it comes to Media Matters basically, they did make this declaration. Other organizations on the left and the right sort of fudge around the edges. And if you look at somebody like the Chamber, and I know that only a part of it is the 501c3, they actually supported all of the infrastructure spending and the stimulus spending, so they can kind of play both sides. Media Matters isn't that way at all. They've got a one-track mind. The other thing I don't understand is, from George Soros' standpoint, why even apply for tax-exempt status at all? You don't need the money.
Well, yeah. Well, you make a lot of money on your tax returns that way, right? Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. But I will defend Media Matters in the sense that I think that their original idea, which was to keep conservative media in check, at least to be honest, has really crossed over the line. I agree with that. But I also think the National Rifle Association, of all of them, that crowd, they have consistently broken the law.
Wait. I want to say, you know who the real victim in all of this is not Media Matters or Fox News. It's the parents of people who work at Media Matters who, when asked what their sons and daughters are doing for a living, they have to tell them in a quiet voice that they sit at home in their underwear and they watch Fox News and they blog. There's nothing more embarrassing
now, wait a second.
than that.
Wait a second. The kids who work at the National Rifle Association have to sit down and try out
but they have guns
all day long. That's right.
And working for the NRA is cool. Media Matters.
Well, it's cool because they want everybody to have a tank.
Bob, the NRA is there to protect gun owners' rights. Media Matters. Look, listen to what they've said. David Brock is the guy who said it's a war on Fox for them. They're going to use guerrilla warfare and sabotage to take down News Corp and CEO Rupert Murdoch's commercial interest. That's angry.
Can we talk about the media blackout here?
It's not a discussion.
Can we talk about the media blackout? Because, Bob, they have covered Republican entities. They've covered Karl Rove's. They've covered Citizens United. However, you don't see on any mainstream channel, ABC, NBC, or otherwise, talking about this. I mean, there's been a full-on media gone dark underground. And look, I call upon the head of the IRS. He should revoke their tax-exempt status for using taxpayer dollars to try and subsidize and silence free speech.
But you calling for that, listen, I think it's great you should be able to call for it. Can you throw the National Rifle Association in while you're at it? Why don't you take a I was agreeing with you. See, you have such a hard time agreeing with a liberal on anything.
You equated Media Matters to the NRA.
They are. I do equate them. You've never done campaigns out there and watched the NRA use its tactics to defeat Republicans. That's what they do. I mean, Democrats. They are out there trying to defeat Democrats all the time.
They're trying to protect gun owners' rights.
Oh, come on.
Okay. What rights? Wait. What rights are Media Matters trying to protect?
Well, I think the original concept was they were trying to protect people who were being attacked by the conservative media, particularly talk radio. And I think there was some there were legitimate reasons for that. But to suggest that the National Rifle Association is trying to protect gun people's rights, they're trying to protect the rights of everybody to get a machine gun.
Bob, there's a key difference. That is the stated mission of the National Rifle Association. The stated mission of Media Matters is to destroy
But the National Rifle
News.
Association is lying when they say that's their stated mission.
Can we bring it back to the topic here is Media Matters?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's my segment. I can tell you what it is.
But I'm wrestling it away from you.
Okay.
Here's a couple things.
Wrestle. Go ahead.
I'm going to wrestle. Here, I get an email every day from Media Matters, and it reads like a missive from an ex-girlfriend. It's just a litany of how much they hate us. But in the background, you're thinking they just want acceptance.
Yes.
It is like the most weird kind of passive.
They're like bottom feeder rejects, right? Who could never get a date. And so now they just want the attention of Fox News. I hate to even elevate them by even bringing them up on the show.
I want them around
am I really glad I brought this topic up? I don't have the kind of this nastiness towards Media Matters. I wanted to try to bring inclusive other people like the National Rifle Association that wants everybody to have a machine gun and a bazooka.
Let me just add one other point, which is that something that was not going to happen before the 2012 election is wholesale tax reform. And I do think that all of these things need to be on the